What's up, worldwide family? Welcome back to the channel. Jimmy Flippin' Deals, day 3, and the bus has made it to the house. Yes, it's not in a great spot, but it is here. Let me turn you around. All right, I was able to get it in here now. With the rain that we've had, I was worried about it sinking, so I did go buy these blocks. This is the second time I parked it, and I kind of missed it. It's sitting on them for the moment. Now, I did put some ruts into the yard, but overall, it's up on blocks, so it's not going to sink. Boy, it's just barely on those. Like I said, the second time I parked it here, so I had to try to hit the same spot that I had it in, and the blocks aren't that big. I bought twice as many as I thought that I would need, and in reality I probably need at a minimum of twice as many as I currently have. So I do need to go to the store, but if I put it back in the back here where I had originally planned on it, then basically my whole yard is a driveway, because as you can see, like literally it encompasses the whole thing. To get back to there. If I remove the last bit of fence here and extend this concrete out a couple more feet, it will allow me to park the bus right there by the street. I'm sure the neighbors will love me, but you know, it is what it is. Now my parcel boxes for my online sales business, I think are going to have to relocate to down past the mailbox and use a lot less of my yard. Ultimately, my shipping container and my shed are going to move. Shed is going to turn sideways. This shed is going to move to the rear of the property. Back over there. And that way, like I said, this is going to move this way. And yeah, don't judge me on the yard. It's kind of in flux at the moment. But that will allow 10 shipping containers down here, single level. You can stack them. I don't know if I'm going to get into that, but 10 of them should allow me to see a lot more of the vision as time goes on. Right now, y'all know I was pretty well full on this first shipping container. It's kind of why I got the bus. I was sitting there at $3,000 for a shipping container, or or buying the bus, and it's not totally full, and this is a little misleading because these are all stacked. I do want, as a project, I'd started with these pallets, right, and I was going to make shelves out of them, and I realized that no part of a pallet is square. My OCD won't let me do the adjustment, plus the 4-inch or whatever shelf that it would provide kind of eats into my 9-foot clearance, right? Each shelf, I mean, you 4 times 5, and all of a sudden you've cut out 20 inches of room. But I am tired of stacking the shelves, or stacking the totes, so I wanted to get shelves, so I bought all of these pallets. And brought them back to the house and realized it's not what I want. So now I'm in the middle of cutting them all up so I can burn what doesn't have nails in it and throw away what doesn't. So far I've been at that. You know, I heard a deal on Facebook that kind of describes the point. You know, it says if you realize you're on the wrong train, then get off at the first stop possible. And as soon as I realized that the pallets weren't the route that I wanted to go for the shelves, all of a sudden I just had to get rid of them. Matter of fact, when I look at them, I still want to make shelves out of them, but again, they're all just nothing square. Nothing's even close to square, which will throw the dimensions of everything off considerably. I did not want to spend roughly $1,000 on shelves, and if I do the wire shelves, which are adequate, they're not quite wide enough for the totes or anything else, but if I use those, then it's about $1,000. And with everything else, I wanted to cut corners where I could, but I don't believe that it's just a spot that I can cut corners. So I've got the bus going. That will free up space so I can continue to buy, continue to process, continue to do everything else for the business, which is absolutely vital and necessary for it to grow, which it is growing, which I'm super stoked about. But at any rate, this is basically a brand new canvas that I can fit quite a bit more in. I was real happy after the trip. I put in roughly 300 and something miles on this last leg, and the bus, it did finally need oil. It has consumed over the 1,200 miles about 3 quarts, so that's not horrible. I think it's time for a little bit more in order to get it up, so call it 5 quarts in 1,200 miles. And that's not horrible at the moment. I have identified one leak, as I told y'all in the last video, that is definitely contributing to the problem. It may be the entire problem. Hopefully, after fixing that, I can get it cleaned up, and hopefully that will be the end of that side of it. I still have to register it in roughly 3 weeks now, and I believe that's going to be $600 to $800. In order to title transfer and register it over here. So out of pocket, I am coming out quite a bit this year on it. I'm probably going to eat it this year. What I mean is in the next year, I don't know that it will produce enough profit necessarily to pay for all of this and get ahead to the point of, in 1 year, if you look at it, go, yes, this was worth it. But by year 2, I should be able to say definitely it was worth it. Also, I do believe that by then it will be time for an extra shipping container. Once I get it parked in that back spot that I showed you and get it all up on bricks, for the meantime, until I figure out the rest of it, I am going to put it on a battery tender to make sure the batteries don't die out. It does have an extra one. Apparently it only needs 2 to start, but it's got a third that they said was an auxiliary, but the guy, he just did not seem like he knew what he was talking about at all, and he was trying to help, and I love him for that. It was a family, and I felt like I was talking to the little brother that had watched the big brother do it all, and he was trying to relay what his bigger brother had done, but wasn't quite sure how the whole system worked. So after a moment, I was just like, well, okay, I'll go ahead and take it from here. I'd asked him some simple, what I consider to be simple questions of if you were knowledgeable about the bus at all, and I forget exactly what I'd asked him, but he just didn't have an answer. So, okay, I'll figure it out as it goes, and I'll do some research on it. It was the heat pump. Apparently, the heater has the ability, and I'm sure for people that run these buses, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it has the ability to run the antifreeze from the radiator through the inside of the bus, through pipes, of course, but hoses, whatnot, to help heat the bus. It takes the heat from the engine and distribute, as it runs, it allows it to disperse the heat through the bus rather than just not using any of that for the benefit of the cabin. So, but at any rate, it is home. I did make it. I've got some things in store. Matter of fact, like I said, I can get the parking and stuff situated for the time being. I do have some cleanup to be done around here. Obviously, y'all can see it, but my parents came in earlier to give me a ride back so I could pick up the motorcycle because it was at their house. And they made some jokes about the cleanliness of the yard. And, when I live by myself, I don't really care so much as I might if I had other people living here, but I'm more about progress and less about mess. So, but they brought it to my attention. It needs to change. There's a few things in the yard that have been here for quite some time that I have no plan on using, and those things just need to get rid of. But other than that, guys, that is the video. I'm not going to keep you too long. Y'all have a wonderful day, and hopefully I'll catch you tomorrow. All right, bye.